When you're not organized, you can't find what you need when you need it. That means you're wasting precious minutes, which add up to hours. That is time you should be spending doing what you do best. The chaos you're working in has you frustrated and it's slowing down your business growth, and we need to change that. Now, last week I talked about the 6 basic systems every business needs to be more efficient. So today we're going to do a deep dive into the first of those systems. That's your digital filing system or your central filing system. This should be the hub of your business, but right now it's a black hole. So let's talk about how you can change this and take back control of your time.
Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast with Shannon Baker. I'm your coffee-loving host and the CEO of a boutique consulting company where I work with purpose-driven women like you who have tight schedules and an aversion to technology. But they're ready to get organized and create business systems so they can leave overwhelm behind and get things done. I strongly believe that being busy is not a badge of honor. We just need to be more intentional with our time and create success on our own terms. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine, and let's dive into today's topic.
Let me start by saying a digital filing system impacts your productivity. If you're not organized, you can't find what you need to operate your business or to respond to requests in a timely manner. The existence of or a lack of an organized digital filing system impacts your bottom line. So let's start by talking about specific reasons that you need a central filing system or a digital filing system. Well, it will save you time and it's going to improve your client relationship. Paper documents end up in piles and you end up searching through the random piles when you need something. That is frustrating on so many levels that it's crazy. So think about it. How much time do you waste searching through those piles of paper for one piece of paper or a Post-it note that you wrote something on? Those minutes add up over time. And you're running an online business, so your files need to match. Not to mention, you've got to be more efficient. Here's an example for you. How many times has a customer called and asked you for a file that's sitting on your desktop along with way too many other files? But you're not home. So you can't send the file until you get home, and that is if you remember to do it when you get there. But if your files are organized by client in a digital filing system, you can send the documents while you're on the go using your smartphone or your tablet. And if you have a sound filing structure, you can easily locate what you're looking for and just email it to them or send them a link to the document. Having a digital filing system is also going to save you money. What happens when you can't find a document quickly? You either end up recreating the same thing over and over again, or if you do a search for the document and you find it, you end up with multiple copies of the same thing with some minor changes because you can't find the original later on to use it again. Over time, these duplicated files end up eating up your storage space, and then you have to buy more. That means you're paying more money than you need to because your Google Drive or whatever you use is stuffed with clutter and a bunch of duplicated files. Having a sound digital filing system will also make you more confident and less frustrated. How do you feel when you have what a prospect or a client needs, but you just don't know where you saved it? It's embarrassing, right? When you have an organized filing system, you can quickly and easily find the things you need. That means you're going to be able to help your clients without getting frustrated with yourself because you can't find something that you're looking for. But instead, you're going to know exactly where to go to find what you need, which makes a good impression. Not to mention, you're going to be able to take the weekends off and you're not going to be worried about the back end of your business. When you have a digital filing system, you're also going to be able to outsource efficiently. One of the biggest hiccups I see when small business owners decide to start outsourcing work is they can't find the information they need for the consultant, their virtual assistant, or they can't find the specific document that the consultant needs from them. This keeps some business owners from actually outsourcing because they're really embarrassed by their lack of organization. That in turn means that they stay overwhelmed by all the things that they're doing. But when your files are organized, you won't scare off your virtual assistant or anyone else that can help lighten your load. All right, now we've gotten through the why. Let's talk about how you can create a digital filing system. Well, you've got to start by determining where you're going to store your digital files. There are a number of options available, so you have to pick what works for you so that you will use it. So I'm just going to talk about the most popular options, which are iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. All of them are cloud-based storage options that you can use to organize and store not only your documents, but also photos. You can then access your files on your computer and on mobile devices. And all of them, with the exception of iCloud, can be set to allow you to work offline without the internet. That in itself is going to save you so much time. If you're wondering how, well, think about this. If you're on your phone or tablet sometimes more than you're on your computer, then a digital filing system means that all of your documents are accessible no matter where you are. That also means that you can share files or folders with others with a simple link, which is great when you outsource. This eliminates the email volleyball and document version confusion because everyone can make edits in the same document in real time. You can even work in the document at the same time together. And that one document is saved where you can easily locate it. And if you need to change who can access the folder or the document, you can do that very quickly. Now here's a bonus. If you're like me and you have a lot of photos or videos on your phone, you know the dreaded message that you're running out of storage space. You can set your phone to back up your photos and videos to a folder inside of your digital filing system automatically. This is going to save space on your mobile phone. Not to mention, again, if you outsource, say your graphic design for social media, you can give access to that folder so that the photos and videos can be available to be used to create your content. Now, these are just a few things that you can do with the digital filing system. I really go into more detail about the things you can do and show you how to do it on each individual platform inside of the Mighty Society membership if you're interested. If you want to know more, just go to theshannonbaker.com/membership to get more information or to join today. Okay, now let's talk about how you can structure your digital filing system. Well, for starters, remember, the goal is to help you locate files easily and create consistent practices in your business. And no one organizes the exact same way. So I'm going to give you 3 steps to help you get started. But I don't want you to go overboard creating a bunch of folders and subfolders. Start by creating a file structure that makes sense to you. If your folders don't make sense or you can't find the files when you need them, you're not going to stick to using this system. But this doesn't have to be hard. Keep it simple. So here are a few basic folders that I recommend you start with so that you can begin to sort the documents that you have already, and then you can expand based on your needs. So 1, you need a folder for your company documents. This is where you're going to put everything related to establishing and running your business, including your SOPs. Then you need a branding folder. This is all the detailed information about how your business looks everywhere. So this includes your logos and a branding document that identifies the hex codes, etc. for your brand colors. Then financial documents. That's pretty self-explanatory. But you should also create a folder for your clients. So I have 3 subfolders in my client folder: prospects, current, and former. And then there's a folder for each client by name. You should also create one for any consultants that you work with. Create one for them by name as a subfolder, and that's where you would store your W-9s, your service agreements, and your NDAs. You should also have one for your sales and marketing, and inside of that should be a subfolder for all of your intellectual property, maybe one for speaking, You work through it as you go through different things, but like I also have one for my podcast. So you break them out according to that piece of your sales and marketing. Now keep in mind, these are high-level folders that you can start with to get things sorted, and then you can go back in later and create more subfolders. Now, there is a more detailed file structure outlined for the members inside the Mighty Society, since this is one of the core business systems that all business owners need. So now let's talk about using this new system. You're going to begin by working in small increments. You can't organize years of files overnight, so you've got to take baby steps. And I'm a huge fan of working in small increments of like 10, 15, or even 30 minutes. That allows you to start to build momentum and you see progress, but you don't get overwhelmed with the process. So what you're going to have to do is schedule time to sort your files. Yes, I said schedule time. Do not leave it to chance. And then when that moment arrives in your schedule, make sure you set a timer and start sorting. When that timer goes off, stop and move on to your next task. But do this consistently until your files are cleaned up. Unless you hire me to clean it up for you, of course. But I want you, if you're doing this yourself, to focus on sorting files and removing duplicates. Then you're going to be able to identify the types of subfolders that you need. And be sure to save any new files where they belong right away once you get your file structure in place. Now let's talk about naming your files. Once you get those old files sorted, you've got to determine the file name format that you want to use, because this helps with you when you're searching for your files. You can use things like an underscore or dashes instead of spaces so that you can basically use the search feature like a search engine on the internet. So here are 5 methods that you can use to name your files. You can file by subject or category, alphabetical order, numbers, places or geographical order, or dates or chronological order. Now, if you use dates in the document name, make sure you're consistent with the format, like month, date, year, which is how I do mine, and that's the numerical order. So the template has MMDDYYYY for month, date, year. But having a consistent format allows your files to stay in chronological order in your filing system so that you can easily find them, right? And then once you get it all set up, you got to use it. If you don't use your new system, you're going to end up in the same mess that you had when you started this process. And guess what? That is it. I've given you what you need to start getting that digital chaos in order and get your files organized. Now, don't forget, I've given you a generic structure to help you get started. Make sure you organize your files based on how you operate your business. And even after you get your file management system in place, do not be afraid to change it up if you find that what you've created isn't working that well. The most efficient system is only going to come about through trial and error. And remember, take small steps and keep it simple and expand your system as you go. This way, you're organizing in a way that doesn't overwhelm you, and you're not trying to force yourself into something that may not work at all, because when that happens, you're just going to abandon the process. A digital filing system is a great option when you work, manage, and digitize your paper clutter. Now, while using one digital filing system is highly recommended, people tend to have 2 or 3 depending on the situation. No matter how many you have, remember, most electronic filing systems have these key features. You can store your files, you can add collaborators, you can give or restrict access to certain files or folders or documents, and you have the ability to search for documents. Ultimately, the platform that you choose comes down to your preference, and when it comes to creating your system for your files, you can try to do this on your own, but I know it can be frustrating and overwhelming, especially because you're already juggling a lot of balls. So if you want me to do the heavy lifting for you, that's not a problem. Let's chat. We'll start this process with the back office assessment so that we can get the big picture of what your entire back office looks like right now, not just your file system. Then you'll get a custom action plan, and that will identify any other areas that you need to give some attention to so that your operations will support your growth goals. Now, if you want to hear more about the way your business operations will change for the better once you get organized and create a digital filing system and you know what other systems you need to use, then check out my conversation with Jodi Silverman. She felt her business was spinning out of control because it grew very quickly, but she did not have an organized digital filing system or the systems that she needed to achieve sustainable growth. She was overwhelmed running her business and ready to throw in the towel, but that changed after we worked together. So I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes. Now, after you have a back office assessment, you're able to book a VIP day so that I can get your digital filing system cleaned up and organized in just one day. Now, if you're hesitant, you have any questions about this, shoot me a DM on Instagram at @the_Shannon Baker, or just send me an email. I want to get those questions answered so you can get your assessment booked today, especially to get this and any other systems you need in place before the summer. That way you can enjoy the summer. I don't want you working in chaos anymore, and that starts by getting your files organized. Now, be sure to meet me back here next week because we're going to talk about the system that is going to protect your productivity and your energy. That's a scheduling system.
I just want to thank you for tuning in this week. I hope today's episode was helpful, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So please feel free to DM me on Instagram at @the_Shannon Baker and let me know your thoughts. My goal is to help you enjoy your journey because I know it's not easy, but there is strength in numbers. If you have any topics or ideas you would like for me to talk about on the podcast in the future, please make sure you reach out and let me know as well. I cannot wait to hear from you. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.